Warrior, I'm jumping on late at night because I want to report some very good news. Mostly at the Warriors, you could construe what we talked to you about as dark and ugly and overwhelming and bad news. And yes, I agree that it could be thought of that way. But you know what? That is the reality in 2024. There is a war on for our children, our precious, precious children. So I am here to bear the weight and bring you the issues that matter, things you should think about, know about, or have to talk to your child about, because mainstream media, they don't cover what we like to cover in the Warriors. Today, July 30th, 2024, is a historical day in Washington, D.C. Now, we at the Warriors fight tooth and nail for our children regarding legislation. All of the legislation surrounding children is bipartisan. Get used to it. We at the Warriors are able to separate out. If somebody is doing good work, we are supportive of it. We call attention to it. I don't care if it's right, left, up, down, middle, whatever you want to call it. Good work deserves attention and promotion. Well, today, Warrior Senator Marsha Blackburn, Republican from Tennessee, and Senator Richard Blumenthal, a Democrat from Connecticut, the sponsors of the Kids Online Safety Act, which became about 10 days ago the Kids Online Safety and Privacy Act, KOSPA, was passed on the Senate floor. And hallelujah, because this, as if you're a follower, and you should be if you're listening to this, of the Warriors, we talk about KOSA, K-O-S-A, for going on 3 years now, Kids Online Safety Act. And the privacy part was put in because there was part of this bill was for Child Privacy Protection Data Act. And that, well, both. What am I talking about? This is the first child safety legislation for online in 25 years. Did you hear me, Warrior? 25 years. 25 years. What has everybody been waiting for? So let me dissect it a little bit. What is this KOSPA? Well, of course, I will have all of the information in the body of the video, but it is calling upon big tech platforms to simply have a duty of care. For instance, we have plenty of studies that say dangerous algorithms. We want those abolished, stopped. Money makers, right? Dangerous algorithms leading kids who are innocently looking at something a couple of clicks away from looking at something else. Because remember, our children, the eyeballs, that is what makes money. And also, if there's, things online, that they take them down. They have a duty of care. They take responsibility. Big tech. We know this is an uphill battle. We know there's also a lot of talk of, from a lot of well-financed behind the scenes, and organizations like even the lawyers, ACLU, Electronic Frontier, Freedom this, Freedom that, about freedom of speech. Well, we at the Warriors agree. However, this is a dent. This is, when I say a guardrail, this is like a seatbelt. This in no way impedes upon anybody's freedom of speech. If your child or grandchild wears a seatbelt, a bicycle helmet, you tell them not to smoke, don't take drugs, why would anybody object to this? Why? These are bipartisan issues. These are to be applauded. Anything for the safety of our children. While everyone is distracted and listening and crazed about all these other issues, these are the issues that matter. Take it from the Warriors. So now what happens? Well, it took a long time to, I'll say urge is a nice word, Senator Chuck Schumer, my senator. I am a constituent of Chuck Schumer's. He is the House majority, to get this on the floor to a vote. And he did it. And he did it. And he did it today, July 30th, which is World Day Against Trafficking in Persons. Monumental, right? Because this is a day we can raise awareness with everyone what's going on, not only in the United States, but across the globe. Because remember, it all feeds into each other. A lot of the servers for the CSAM, most of the servers, the child sexual abuse material, are in foreign lands. They're not here in America. So we have to have this transnational collaboration. Although at the Warriors, we focus right here at home. But we have to touch upon what's happening around the globe, because with the introduction of the internet and artificial intelligence, it is all expanding. So Chuck Schumer had promised last week he'd get it to a vote, schedule it for a vote on the floor. It didn't happen. But a little birdie told me it would happen today to commemorate this most wonderful day. And now what happens, you might ask? Now it has to go to the House. So in the month of August, which is upon us, our Congress takes recess. I don't know why, because there's so much happening. If I'm not taking a recess, and you might not be taking a recess, I really don't think Washington should, but that's another program. They'll come back in September. It will go to the House for a floor vote. But I advise all of you, read the body of this video. Share the information, because I believe and have always believed if we could get one piece of child safety legislation that's reasonable, duty of care. Big tech, take responsibility. You're making billions of dollars off of our children. Spend some of that money and be responsible for some of these things, because call me wacky, but I thought anything with minors is against the law. And share, on your Twitter, on your Facebook, on your Instagram, on the platforms, because one person at a time, I have always believed if we could get one piece of child safety, internet, online, digital, whatever you want to call it, in place, legislation, it will snowball from there. And I believe this July 30th, 2024 is the start. Our hashtag is Community Creates Change. We are indeed doing that. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. LynnsWarriors.org is the place to be. Don't forget to follow, donate, volunteer, read, educate yourselves, and above all else, talk with your children, hug your children, love your children, tell them everything is going to be okay. Keep them safe. No matter what you're feeling like, no matter what you know, kids need to feel safe. Remember all of this. The kids are savvy today. Speak to them age appropriately, but open and honestly. They could teach us a thing or two. Remember all of this. And today and every day, go out and be a warrior.